Hi, and welcome to the November episode of More or Less. I'm Peggy, and I'm here with James and Cody.
And this is brought to you by Baker Orthotics and Prosthetics. We bring all the right solutions for your orthotic or prosthetic needs to get you functional and moving to live a full and robust life. And this month of November is Giving Month. We are going to celebrate the season of giving by discussing our favorite charitable organizations today. And to kick it all off, we're going to start off with James Dixon. And we appreciate you being here with us and sharing with us all the charitable organizations that you enjoy. And without further ado, let's get going.
Man, I'm excited to be here with you guys. Talking about charitable giving. That's probably why some of these nonprofits are so important to us, because it is a giving. Someone receives something they never would have. Like for me, Born to Run, which is our very own fellow amputee, Noelle, who is currently on the Survivor.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and she's doing well and representing us with great tenacity. But she has an organization, a foundation she started called Born to Run. And it's so that other amputees, especially children, are able to get higher end, prosthetics that allow them to be active. And so that's one that's really close to my heart, because it's someone we know. It's an organization that is that's doing something so impactful in someone's life. Children deserve higher end prosthetics. Hopefully we can start getting legislation so the insurance companies can do that, because we shouldn't have to wait until your final prosthetic in order to get one.
Absolutely agreed. Great. I love your first one. What else you got?
Well, of course, I'm going to just steal this one because it's so, just because I just came from it. Being at Challenge Athlete Foundation, we had their annual event, being able to participate. Some of the kids that were there were some tremendous first-time experiences, first-time seeing other amputees. Though they may have raised $150 million over the course of their time, there is still a great need. The more money that is given towards them, the more children they are able to impact, fly the families in, do things for them, get them not only but wheelchairs so they can play basketball, or sleds so they can do sled hockey. They're so diverse. Even they're willing to do training for people, pay for training, so that a young athlete can become a para-Olympian one day. So,
and they don't just serve children. They do.
That's right.
They do provide devices and assistance and supports for all age levels. So
that's right.
I love challenged athletes. Absolutely.
There was a man in his 70s who received a trike so that he can participate in road games and do a Ironman, even at 70 as an amputee.
That's
and I
amazing.
thought, what an amazing opportunity that we didn't allow anything to stop us from supporting his vision, his goals at any age.
Absolutely. I love challenged athletes. Do you want me to go into mine, or are you good?
Yeah, I want to hear them. Tell me.
All right. So, like you, I have one for the limb loss community, but I also have some because we're more than our limb loss, right? We believe in a lot more than just limb loss. So, but my first one is limb loss related, and it is Upright Africa. And similar to you, I chose it because I know the founders. And they do fantastic work in Africa, going around and providing medical services and prosthetic devices and orthopedic surgeries for primarily kiddos that otherwise would have an even harder life. So love Upright Africa. So they are my limb loss, limb difference choice of charity nonprofit. My second one are children's hospitals. And I chose children's hospitals. There are different children. There's a different children's hospital in every area. They all have a fundraising wing. My youngest is a patient at Children's on a regular basis. He goes there and he gets some treatments that would be a lot more difficult for him to handle if he didn't have just the emotional support and the kid support when he goes there. That it truly is a hospital where when you walk in, he's still allowed to be a kid. You know, he'll be hooked up to things, but he can still play. They have an ice cream machine. So, you know, your kid's getting, you know, chemicals dripped into him and he can still have vanilla ice cream. So love children's hospitals, very, very dear to my heart. So that is my number 2. And my number 3 is in honor of my eldest son, who loves sea turtles and is a sea turtle rescuer and did an internship down in Florida with the Sea Turtle Oversight Protection Fund, STOP. And what STOP does is that they actually patrol the beaches at night in Fort Lauderdale and help the turtle hatchlings get to the ocean instead of getting squished on the road and by all of the bar goers by the ocean. They do a lot of really good work. The sea turtle population has rebounded because of them. And again, they worked with my son. They do a lot of good work. I can, kind of attest to what they do. So that is why they chose them. So what about
Nice.
you, Cody?
Wonderful. So I have one entity that is the limb loss and limb difference community. It's called the Range of Motion Project, ROMP for short. And they are a global organization, although they are mostly situated in Central and South America at this time. I chose them because they seek out to provide mobility and give life back to those who have lost that ability and are underfunded and underserved prosthetically. I can just give you a couple of numbers and tell you that they received $7.5 million in 2020. Let's see, they delivered 377 devices in 2019. They had 1,305 patient visits in 2019. There's just a lot of people that they touch all over the globe who don't have access to living life to the fullest. And so
Absolutely.
I appreciate that very much. They also have a presence in the United States. So for people who are here and are in need, they can apply to the Range of Motion Project as well. And your prosthetist can work with them to get you served if you so need that.
And we
So-
do have information with their application on Range of Motion Project and Born to Run through the Whole Person Network. So just wanted to
Okay.
plug that a little bit.
Yes, amen. All charitable organizations that we can come up with for this relating to limb loss and limb difference will be made available. So moving on, while I love the limb loss and limb difference community, again, we are more than our limb loss and limb difference. And so one of the other charitable organizations that has really, the idea has always touched my heart in that let me just say the organization is called Water for People. And this is just really one of many organizations that provide usable water around the world where people suffer and die due to lack of clean, usable water. And so this organization has stepped in a very big way. They've served 3,000, almost 4,000 communities. They've served over 1.7 million people to provide with sanitation initiatives. They teach people how to use water correctly, washing your hands. These simple things that we take for granted here is, imperative to protecting and saving the lives of people around the globe. So that's why I believe this work is more fundamental than anything else that we could really do in many countries. So
You're taking it down to a truly basic need right there. And I
absolutely.
think that's such an important one. We take it for granted in this country,
Absolutely.
that you turn the tap and there's going to be water. Love it. What's your
Or that
next?
sewage even flushes away.
Exactly.
Right.
All of that. Yeah.
Man, you guys are talking.
Yeah.
We take so much for granted. Those are
Yeah.
great calls. It's great calls.
I've got
Even
one last.
knowing that.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm looking forward. I know you had one more.
Oh yeah. So the last one is the International Justice Mission. And the International Justice Mission was started by a lawyer who worked for the UN and was in these third world countries around the world, and was just seeing people exploited and trafficked. And he created this organization to step in and stop the human trafficking as best he possibly could. And currently today, they have relieved almost 10,000 people from violence and oppression. They've restrained 4,500 plus criminals, and they've restored 430 survivors to safety and stability.
Wow.
They've got 1,800 convictions for people who do this to others and enslave them. So when we talk about, a good cause, this one right here, it will definitely have an impact on the world. It's a wonderful group, and I appreciate everything that they do, looking out for the weak and vulnerable.
I love them. I think it's so interesting how we all have such personal and unique charities that we like to support, but also, we all made a point, and we didn't discuss it ahead of time, which charities or how we were going to divide it. So, but when we did divide it up, we all just chose one for limb loss and then others to reflect other parts of our life. And that is because we're more than our limb loss, right? So
That's right.
yeah, just
absolutely.
great things going on. And there's so many organizations and charities, from big ones to smaller little hometown ones. And, those grassroots ones are they're making a huge difference. So regardless of what organization you'd like to support, what nonprofit your heart leans towards, in November, which is the season of giving, we hope that you keep them in mind. And let us know. Reach out to us. Let us know who your favorite nonprofits are, and we'll put a link to it in the thread with this podcast, and we'll maybe get a little list going.
Yes, absolutely. And, just remember, giving is productive. If you ever feel like you aren't able to give back to the world, limb loss can affect you in that way. People fall prey to that mentality that they're not useful anymore. This is one way that you can get involved. And there are multifaceted charities that you can get embedded with. And so, just remember, you have the ability to reach out and make an impact on the world. Your limb loss does not define your willingness and your ability to get out there and make change.
Absolutely. And it's not just money.
Right.
Absolutely. Money is great. Every organization needs funds, but they also need people on the grassroots. They need people at your local food pantry who's helping pack up food. They need people at Meals on Wheels who can go and deliver the food. So don't discount service. Service is also a huge way to give back to nonprofits.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. It was great connecting with both of you, and I hope that you enjoy November and have a fabulous Thanksgiving, and we'll see you all again in December.
Thank you, Peggy.
See you then,
James.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All right.